Hello, Lisa. Yes, Lisa, it is hard to lose somebody you love, your loved ones, near and dear ones, and you're never quite the same after that. So it does stay with you, and you really never completely recover from losing a loved one. You learn to live with it, and time helps sometimes eventually, but it does stay with you, and it affects your character. Uh, and I try not to get too sad, and I try to think of the good times I've had with people I've lost, and try to appreciate the fact that I'm still here, and hopefully will be for a long time. Knock on wood. Um, but yeah, I have written a song, for example, for Steve Baders, in memory of Steve Baders, on the Demolition 23 album. That's unfortunately out of print. The album should be available, really, but a song called Dead Time Stories, and that was for Steve Baders, and it's a beautiful little song. I actually started writing it with Steve Baders when I was living with him in London, and then after he 7 years later, or 6 years later, when he passed away, I finished the song with him in mind, and it has his song titles within the lyrics. It has about, what's it, somewhere between 11, 12, maybe 14, 15 song titles within the lyrics of Steve's songs, from his solo careers, from the Dead Boys, from the Lord's of the Church. And I'm really actually pretty proud of that piece. And like, Razzle, for example, A Million Miles Away, the Hanoi Rock song, even though the lyrics were originally about a guy who was in prison and he can't get to his woman, it really became a song about Razzle, being a million miles away after he passed away. And we had that concert that was in Finland in beginning of '85. We did the final original Hanoi show, which we had a drummer sitting in for Razzle. And when we played that song, it was really, I was having a hard time singing it because I was crying, but that became the song for Razzle, and but it does affect you a lot, and always stays with you, and the world is never quite the same without these people. People like Lemmy, I mean, guys, and Steve Baders, people like that they're not, there's not many of them around. It's like they're a dying breed, and it's kind of like Lemmy was like a Wild West hero. When you hear stories from the Wild West, and Jesse James and Billy the Kid and people like that, you say, how could they really live like that? And Lemmy was kind of like that, because I mean, the way he lived and all, it's like, he was like a Western hero, gunslinger, whatever. But guys like that, I mean, Steve Baders, I mean, he actually died on stage once. I mean, hung himself with a microphone cord, and he, by accident, the roadies noticed that he was turning blue, and there was piss pouring down his leg, and he got him down, and he's like, he was dead for real on stage. I mean, how do you top that? It's just crazy. And he did all kinds of other stuff on stage, it's really crazy, but, that doesn't happen anymore these days. And I'm not saying that anybody should die on stage, but to do something, to be like for real. I mean, somebody whacked him over the head with a bottle and CBGBs, and he kept singing until he passed out of loss of blood. And people don't do that anymore. That's dedication. But it's really, really one of the hardest things in life. You can't prepare for it. Losing somebody you love, your loved one, you can't really ever prepare for it, and you never really recover from it, but you make the best of it. And so it is. It does affect you. Thank you very much.